Hello, I hope you're well, healthy and safe and just cracking on with life, even though it's incredibly difficult because we're all in isolation, but never mind. This recipe is for that amazing crab and sweet corn soup like you get at the all-you-can-eat buffets. Thick, gloopy, but amazingly tasty, and this is how you do it. First thing you need to do is prepare a cornflour mix, so 100 ml of water and 4 heaped teaspoons of cornflour into a pot or a cup, and just give it a stir with a teaspoon just to mix all the cornflour with the water and set that aside. Next thing you need to do, get a tablespoon of sweet corn and I just put it in a blender just to blitz it. You can mash it up with a knife or just mash it up with a fork or something just to give it a bit of an alternate texture. Set that aside. Take a small egg, season it and whisk it, so a little pinch of salt and give it a basic whisk. Set that aside. Then take 400 milliliters of water, start to bring it to the boil, a quarter teaspoon of MSG, a full teaspoon of salt, a half teaspoon of onion powder, and a tiny pinch of white pepper, just to give it a bit more depth of flavour, and start to bring that to the boil. When it starts to bubble, you can add the corn mash that you made at the start. Just add that in. Yeah, then you need to add a tablespoon of whole corn from the tin. That tin's from my fishing bait collection. It costs about 20p, but we didn't have any other corn in the house, so yeah, times are hard, baby. Then you need to add 4 seafood sticks that have been sliced up. You see that? Yeah, they're in there now. Continues to bring that to boil. I felt that it needed a little bit more corn, so I added 1 more tablespoon of corn. In it went. Keep simmering it. Next thing you need to do is thicken it. Give it that characteristic thick gloopiness by adding that cornflour mix that you made at the start. So make sure the heat's still on, simmering, and just add it bit by bit. It's quite a dark art adding cornflour and water to hot water, because all of a sudden it can just blow out and you've got like super thick horrendousness. So just be careful bit by bit. I have measured this out and felt that was the perfect amount for this amount of soup, so it's up to you, but I think it's just about the right amount. So tiny bit left, there's still some there. Also, you notice that it's quite creamy and white looking. As it cooks, that'll become more translucent. You should not really see that at the end of the cooking process, so don't worry about that for now. That's the final bit in. I'm going to leave that to simmer for another minute, just to really sort of thicken it up and start to cook off that pale whiteness from the cornflour. Check for seasoning, little taste there. Now I'm going to add the egg. Have you noticed I'm using a slotted spoon? That means that when it touches the heat of the soup, it starts to cook, but it's already shredded. The trick is not to stir this straight away, because if you was to stir that now, give it a really continuous stir as you add the egg, it creates such a sick-like visual. It shreds the egg. It looks absolutely diabolical. So leave it for about a minute cooking, and then stir it just when you're about to serve it. And hey presto, there you go. Restaurant quality crab and sweet corn soup in very little time, and probably costing about 30p. Enjoy. Stay safe and keep washing your hands.